Hello everyone, my name is Mr. Bullet on Fire 12 and welcome back to another Modern Warfare 2 video. Now what we're going to do today in this video is talk about a topic that has always been on my mind, and just of recently it's been on my mind a lot more. So I figured, you know what, I'm going to make a video talking about this because I think it's a really interesting topic and it's something I want to share with you guys. Because what this topic is about is your own online identity and what that online identity can do to just change your life completely in ways that you would have never thought was possible. But we'll get onto that topic in just a second, because I'm sure you've seen that the kill feed is looking a little bit differently than it normally looks, and that's because, yes, we did get into some hacked sessions before this gameplay that you're now seeing. And in my last Modern Warfare 2 video, a subscriber commented on that video and said, "Aren't all the lobbies all hacked now for PlayStation 3 on MW2? And I said, no, that's not necessarily the case, because when I play this game now, I always stick to Team Deathmatch. Because just in my own personal experience, that's where you won't find that many hackers. But from this particular session, I'm playing with a couple of people, and we'll get onto those guys in just a second. But they wanted to play stuff like Search and Destroy, Domination, which, from experience, and it was inevitable that it would happen, we ended up finding a lot of hackers in both those game modes. And while I was looking through my computer, I couldn't find any of the hacked footage that I definitely did record. I must have accidentally deleted it, because I was actually going to show off some of it in this video and talk about it a little bit, but yeah, I guess it doesn't matter too much. It's no big deal really. But moving on, let's talk about who I'm actually playing with in this session. So I'm playing with Private Bravo 20, who I'm sure you know by now as James from New Nexus Gaming, and the other guy I'm playing with is Infamous Kidding, which he has actually been featured on the channel before, but he's got a different name now. Back in the past, his name was Zero Hawk 1994 Sigum. His real name is Ryan. So both of these guys have obviously both been featured from those short Modern Warfare 3 clips I used to do back in the past. And I was actually talking about that in my last Modern Warfare 3 video. But this is the first time that Ryan is being featured in a proper video commentary. James has already been featured in a couple of them now. So it's actually good to have both of these guys actually featured in one together. And these guys are actually going to play a big part in today's commentary, the topic actually. Because they link in with it really, really well. So actually, let's just get on with this topic, because I'm going to start off with actually mentioning something from someone else who actually did another commentary on this topic that was really similar, and something that I personally relate with a lot. But basically this guy called CNanners, who, if you don't know who CNanners is, he is a YouTuber who started out uploading Call of Duty content up onto his channel and up with Machinima back in the day. And I was watching through this particular commentary that he did, and what he was talking about was the whole online identity thing, and how it basically impacted him in a way, I suppose. What he basically talked about was there was a situation at work, not his work, I should say, where a new guy came into the office that he was working with, and when he introduced himself to this new guy, he said, "Hello, my name is Adam," because in real life his name is Adam. But the other people that were around him at the time and overheard him say that, they all said, "No, you're CNanners." And his response was, "Well, yeah, I guess I am CNanners, but, you know, I'm still Adam." And that's really interesting, because basically what he was saying was that ever since he started posting videos online, he's created like this second person for himself, like this other side to him, which is obviously CNanners. But he also went on to say that obviously it's cool that people are recognising him by his Xbox name, CNanners, but at the same time, he is still this real person, which is Adam, and he would still be happy to still be known as Adam. And I found that to be really interesting, because I kind of feel like, in a way, I've become like two different people with these two different names and personalities, because I don't know if you know, but I don't know if it's mentioned on my YouTube channel anymore, but I used to have my real name mentioned on the About section on my YouTube channel. I don't know if I've removed it yet, because I did update it when I started posting videos again, but in real life my name is Francesco. And in the past, when I've done collaborations with James, he's said my real name sometimes, and also my online name, which is obviously Bullet. But I kind of do feel like I've had like two personalities when I made my PS3 name, because in real life I'm quite a quiet person that doesn't talk a lot and doesn't sort of, I don't know, kind of like engage to talk with people. Obviously I do talk with people, but I'm not a talkative kind of person. I'm usually the quiet one that just lets other people get on with their own thing, and I'll just join in whenever I want, that sort of thing. But when I'm Bullet, I see a massive change between me, my real self, and obviously my online self, because when I'm, being known as Bullet, I'm way more talkative, and I act a lot more differently compared to my real self. And I just think it's really interesting how just having that online identity can do that. It can just change how you do things in your life. Because, especially with these guys, I'm going to bring these guys back in to the topic now. I've always thought, well, I obviously sort of thought this back then, but I always thought that how weird it would be for like the people I've known growing up, if they started calling me Bullet, for example, calling me by my online name, and then vice versa the other way around, that people I'd meet online and they would start calling me by my real name. But obviously that's kind of different now, because when I first met these guys, James and Ryan, we all called each other by our online names. Like, we always called each other Bullet, we always called each other Zero, we always called each other Private. But as time has gone on, that has changed. I mean, we did that for probably the first couple of years of knowing each other, but as time has gone on, I don't really call them Private or Zero anymore. Well, I can't call him Zero anymore because he's not called Zero anymore, he's got a new name. I always call them by their real names now. And they call me by my real name as well sometimes, and I'm alright with that. But obviously my name it's different. It's not English, for example, and it's a lot longer compared to the other two, so it is a lot easier for them to still call me Bullet, and I'm fine with that. But going back onto the first one I mentioned a few seconds ago, I'd still think it would be weird if people I've grown up with in real life and that I've been made friends with through school and college and university, things like that, if they would start calling me Bullet. I don't know, I just still think it wouldn't feel right. I would still say, just give me a nickname to shorten down my name, because, I don't know, it just wouldn't feel right for them to call me Bullet. But something else that I want to talk about is, I've known these guys now for over 5 years, and I've been playing Call of Duty for over 5 years. Now, during that time of playing with these guys, I've met a lot of people from just making my PlayStation name and just playing Call of Duty. We've been a part of different groups. Like, it kind of started out where I would play COD with my real friends I met in real life, and then all of a sudden it kind of expanded so that I could meet all these other people. And obviously James and Ryan were a part of that. Then other people joined into it. And this is something I'm sure a lot of people can relate with, because I'm sure I've heard other stories where people used to play in a massive group in the past and they had tons of people together. I've been a part of 2 different groups, really. I mean, back in the day of World at War, COD 4, MW2, and a bit of MW3 as well, there was a big group of people that I was part with James and Ryan, and a few other people as well. And then during Black Ops 2, Ghost, and a bit more of Modern Warfare 3 as well, I was part with some other people. But these two guys, I've always still kept in contact. They're different compared to all the other people I've played with in the past, and I wish I kind of would have been able to have documented what happened in the past and to see all the people that we used to play with, because some people, they came and went for whatever reason it was. Either they just didn't, either some people literally just disappeared and we never saw them ever again, or other people we fell out with. But these two guys, we've always stayed the same, and we've always still been together for 5 years. And I'll come back onto this topic in a second, because James, I'm sure you've been wanting to see this moment. I mean, just watch this. What happens here? There you go. I get killed. What happened there was I got killed by James's care package, and when that happened, he was laughing his head off, because he just literally saw me using my Predator missile. I didn't really care what happened, because obviously I lost my streak and I died. And then I thought, right, let's get rid of this Predator missile, just use it immediately. Then that happened, and then he was laughing his head off for like a good few minutes, because he had the perfect view of it. And just, I kind of wish that we had theatre mode in this game, because I would have loved to have done a cinematic shot just to see me get flattened by a care package crate when I'm using my Predator missile. That would have been funny. But anyway, there you go, James, that's my perspective of what actually happened. I'm sure you've been wanting to see that. But anyway, going back onto the whole topic of this video, which not too much left to talk about, but I wanted to, you know, still have, I suppose, these people in my life. Because one thing that these guys actually talked about with me at one point is, obviously I talked about, we had some people that came and went, and for whatever reason, and then there are other people that still stick around, that still stuck around, and there are other people besides James and Ryan that I still talk with and play games with, but these guys are the two guys I've been the closest with. And one thing, I think it was Ryan that actually said this to me at one point, that they wanted me to not be one of those guys that we've met in the group, to just drift away and just not be seen again, because I think what happened was both of them had already sort of connected up a little bit more than I did. They had already connected up with like Skype and Facebook, and they'd already got each other's numbers, and then obviously they got me on it. So I thought it was really cool when he said that, you know, they didn't want me to be one of those people that ended up drifting away out of the group. And it just shows how awesome it is to sort of meet people like that online. And then, because I never would have thought just playing Call of Duty could just enable me to find like a great friendship like this, really. 5 years, and these guys are still around. And we always talk about how awesome it would be to still go back to the days of, you know, all the people we used to play back in the past. And just watching through this gameplay is reminding me about that. Even if it is just these two in the game with me, it's awesome. But one last thing I'll talk about quickly is how it's kind of changed me in a way, because I do still have friends that I talk with in real life that I've met through school, nursery, university, college, you name it. But there has been a point where I've done a lot of moving around in my life from just educational places, and I have lost contact with quite a lot of people, but at the same time it's actually been really good having these guys around, because I've lost contact with a lot of friends, and I don't have as many of them in real life anymore, but having these guys around has actually helped, because these guys are a lot easier to talk to. They're online a lot most of the time during the week. I mean, if we're not on, for example, we'll say to each other that we're not going to be on. But it's really cool having these guys around, because I talk with them more than the people I talk with in real life. And I have some really good, fun, enjoyable moments with these guys. I do still have, obviously, fun, enjoyable moments with the people I've grown up with. There's one friend in particular that I can think of that I met at college, and, you know, she's been a really awesome friend to me. and it's been awesome meeting her. But at the same time, it's also been really awesome just meeting these guys through playing a game, from playing Call of Duty. Never would have thought that could have happened. So it just shows you the endless possibilities that can happen these days. But anyway, the gameplay's about to wrap up now, so that's what I wanted to talk about in this video. So let me know in the comment section below if you've ever had experiences like that, because I'd love to hear them. But anyway, thank you for watching this video. If you've liked it, remember to leave a like rating and subscribe if you are new. But for now, it is goodbye from me. But I shall see all of you guys very, very soon with my next video. So take care, guys, and goodbye.